Hello everyone. So welcome back to the nursery today. Finally, I am doing a sit down video. I haven't done like a sit and chat video in the nursery in a while. So I figured today, while I had some free time and the house is quiet and nothing's going on, I would come and do a little sit down video. And with, guess who? Somebody you guys haven't seen in a while. It is little Amani I'm holding and been spending time with. So it was definitely time I do a video with her and just her alone. This is the first video that I've done with Amani, but just by herself in a long time. For those of you who are new to my nursery, before I keep going, welcome to my nursery. For those who are already subscribed to my channel, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. And for my new people, viewers, please subscribe while you're here. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the like button, everyone. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and also share my videos, because as I said, I'm still trying to grow this new channel, and this is not my first channel. If you're new, this is my second channel. It's almost been a year though since I started this channel. I can't believe it. In February, I believe it'll be a year since I started this new channel. But my original channel was on YouTube. I started back in 2014. So I've been on YouTube now for like 7 years, going into the 8th year. So yeah, so that's just a little background if you're new to my channel. But anyway, as I was going to say, this is the first video I've done with little Miss Amani all by herself. Like when I first brought Amani home, I used to do like videos pretty regular with just her. Like I was just so in love with this baby girl, and I still am. But when she first came home last year on my birthday in 2020, I believe it was 2020. Yeah, she came to me in 2020, my birthday. She was like, I was just so over the moon with her. And as I said, she looks like my mother. She reminds me of my mother, and she still does. And so I was just so into her that I would do a lot of videos with just her. But then as the time went on, as you guys know, I had the twin, her brother Jaxson, which was the Willow Asleep, and she's the Willow Awake by Clear Taylor Dolls. So then once I started like doing the videos with her and Jaxson together, it was my twins, my Willow twins, and so I never would do a video like if you seen Jaxson, Amani was there, vice versa. They became my Willow twins. I was so excited to have my Willow twins. So I never would do videos, you know, without both of them being in it. So as you know, Jaxson left my nursery, which I did announce that about, it seemed like it's almost 3 weeks ago already, but he's been gone pretty much like almost 2 to 3 weeks, or going on 3 weeks. And so this is the first video since he left that I'm now doing a video with just Amani. So now is my little Amani, just her. And I had all together, I love the Willows, as most of you know. And so I've had, over the past 2 years since the Willows came out in 2019, I had at least, I want to say 5 of them. I believe she's the 5th one. I had 2 asleep Willows and 3 awake Willows. She's my 3rd awake Willow. And she is like the one I really loved out of my awake Willows. She just like captured my heart. But I love the Willow asleep as well. But I guess Amani won because she's the last Willow I have left. All of the other Willows have went, you know, to new mommies. So I guess she would be my Willow winner because I was going to let her go too, but I couldn't do it. Because as I said, there was some other things I wanted to do. So I was going to sell both of my Willows, including Amani. But it turned out I only decided to finally let go of Jaxson, my Willow asleep boy. So I just wanted to come back and speak on that a little while I'm feeding and changing Amani today. And I hope all of you are doing well. I'm going to see. Can I turn this light down? It's so bright. I don't know if that helped, but yes. So Jaxson finally got to his new mommy. Well, he's been there now. Like, I shipped him out on the Monday and he got to her by the Thursday. It took like 3 days of shipping. Usually it takes 2 days. I was surprised it actually took 3 days for him to get there. And he only went to Florida and I'm in Georgia, but it still took 3 days. I don't know why. But yes, I'm happy to say he did get to his new mommy safely. And as you guys know, I was quite devastated when he first left, as I had said, because I did a video when he first left. And I don't think I was doing the video with Amani at the time. I don't think so. So I'm putting KY on her bottle just in case anybody is wondering. It's the liquid, the KY liquid, not the gel. This is the liquid and it is quite liquidy, but it's water-based, so it's safe to put on your silicone babies, bottle nipples, and pacifier nipples. And it keeps the bottle, the nipple, or the pacifier nipple from rubbing on their lips, on the gloss or paint on their lips. So it protects their lips from the friction. So anyway, I'm going to just give her a little feeding while we're here. And then I'm going to finish dressing her. I started dressing her. She has on her onesie, but that's all she has. So anyway, as you guys know, I was quite devastated when Jaxson left. It was a tough decision, but like I said, it was other things I needed to take care of. And so I decided to let go of one of my dolls. So I knew I was doing the right thing for personal reasons. And at first, when I was going to first sell the both of them, it was actually, I was going to hold on to the money to get another doll. But then as time went on, I decided not to do that. And then other things I really wanted to do that were more important for me to do, I decided to just sell Jaxson and do the other things that I wanted to do. And I wanted to keep Amani. So that is how that all went. But nevertheless, when he left and I took him to the post office, I was just so devastated. When I got home and I realized, okay, he's gone now. But over the time of the transaction, going into this transaction, oh my goodness. Okay, it was hard enough for me to decide to sell him. Well, that was just only the beginning of all of it. And I will go into why. And I decided to share this because I wanted to just put it out there. If you have never sold a doll or you haven't sold a doll in a while, I figured I would just pass this information on. Some of you may have experienced this already, but I had never experienced anything like this with PayPal since I've been selling dolls and buying dolls. I have had my same PayPal account since 2013 because I bought my first reborn in 2013 and I bought her before I even had a YouTube channel. I had just gotten into collecting the dolls back in 2013. So I had my same PayPal since then, never had no problems on my PayPal. You guys that watch me know I sell numerous dolls all price ranges of dolls. A lot of my silicone dolls, I get them, they stay a little while, and then I sell them. You guys know how I do. I sell dolls to buy dolls. Sometimes I'll sell dolls. So I regularly use my PayPal. I've never had no problems with my PayPal on the buying end or the selling end. So all of a sudden, I sell Jaxson. The customer pays me, and she's someone, I didn't really know her well, but I knew her. She had never bought any dolls or anything from me before, but she definitely, you know, she comments on my videos. She watches my videos. She's been watching my videos for a long time. I comment back to her and stuff like that. So she wasn't what you would say is a stranger, because I know she follows my channel. So anyway, so she pays for the doll and everything is fine. And so she pays me, and all of a sudden PayPal, you know how they send you the email that you got money, and I go look on my PayPal, check my account, and I see the money there and it says on hold, right? I'm like, why is my money on hold? Never have PayPal held my money. Never. Not one time in like 8 years, from 2013 to now. So anyway, I go and proceed, of course, to call PayPal. So I asked them, well, why is my money on hold? And so the lady tells me, oh, and not only that it was on hold, it says for 21 days on hold. So I'm looking at this like 21 days. I could see if it had said until the person receives the item, it's on hold. No, it said 21 days. I like, you know how your jaw just drop? I was like, 21 days. So that means if you have an emergency, say you sell your doll because you have an emergency, something serious, and you need the money right then, you wasn't getting that money right then. And that's the part I didn't like, because say you do have an emergency, that means you can't get your money for 21 days. So that's why I hurry up and I called them. I didn't really have an emergency, but still, I was not sitting up there. I sold my doll. I'm ready to ship the doll, and you mean to tell me I can't have my money? So that means that you have to ship off the doll or whatever it is, and you don't get paid. Basically, PayPal's sitting there holding your money, and you've shipped off your doll. So you have nothing as the seller. You end up with nothing the way it goes. So I called PayPal, and they said that is something that they do if you're a new seller and this and that, blah, blah, blah. They hold the money so that just in case if there's any problem with the transaction, you know, the money is secured and it can be returned to the customer. So basically, it's to protect the customer, because it's not protecting the seller. That's all. Basically, it's protecting the customer, which I can understand, because there is a lot of scammers out there, and a lot of times that could save someone from being able to scam you. But if you're not a scammer and you're an honest seller, then that's not right. And that's where the problem comes in, because I, at that point, had the doll packed up, ready to go ship it, but yet I couldn't get my money. So now also, if you want the money to ship the doll, because normally you're going to use some of that money to cover your shipping. That's what I usually do. The shipping was all included in the payment. So I figured, okay, I'm going to go ship the doll off now. I'll take the money out of the payment. I couldn't do that. I had to ship the doll out of my own money because I couldn't get the payment. So that's another thing. You have to have money, make sure aside for the shipping, because you're not going to get your money. Then I usually ship my dolls fully insured. So that costs a lot depending on the price of the doll. It was a full body silicone doll, so it was pretty pricey. So therefore that the insurance was, you know, it was expensive with the shipping because he's heavy, he's silicone, all the stuff in the box. So the box was quite heavy and the doll is heavy. So you going based on the weight of the box, and then I'm going to fully insure this box. So that, you know, the shipping, it was like $200 or something around there. So basically I had to go ship off the doll. The lady told me, the PayPal customer service, she said you have to ship the doll or whatever it is, the package. Then once you ship it, come back here, put in the tracking information. And then once the person gets the doll, the tracking will update that the package has been received, and then possibly you'll get paid the following day after. And she said also the customer will get an email saying did they receive their order or something like that, or something will pop up on their PayPal account saying that they received the order, and they can just click that they, you know, they received it. And she said then that would clear your money. Let's see, can I put this down without knocking this camera out? So yeah, so I'm going to dress her now. So she's wearing this Jaxson onesie, and she's worn this before. She's actually on my channel with this outfit that I'm going to put back on her. She wore it for Valentine's Day earlier this year. So I love this outfit so much. I'm going to put it back on her because the colors are perfect for Christmas. So this is the onesie. It has this Liberty print. I call it clown collar, but I don't know. It's kind of pleated with the Liberty print. And then she's gonna get the bloomers. They are red and white with pink, but I don't know if you guys can even see the pink. It has like a hot pink on it, and it has like a little bow in the front of this. You can barely see the bow because it's all the same color. And then this sweater, this cardigan, which is red and like a burgundy at the bottom. So she's going to get this back on. And where did I put her shoes? Oh. And then she's going to get the Crier & Company little red suede shoes, the crib shoes. And where did I knock her stuff down? I did. This red bow. It looks like a Christmas bow. And these bow socks. They're white by Pretty Originals little socks. So that's what she's going to put on. So anyway, and these are all by Jaxson, the onesie, the bloomers, and the cardigan. And I think this is 3 months because normally I get 1 month size, but for Amani I got all 3 months, everything in 3 month size. So yeah, that is how that went. The lady on the phone told me it was nothing she really could do. I said, but I'm not a new seller, miss. I've had, if you look, you see I've had my PayPal account since 2013. I sell regularly on there, large items, like, you know, expensive and also less expensive items, which lately I've been selling baby clothes, as I said, on my my Instagram, and I use my PayPal for those sales. And I treat them just like they're sales. Each piece of clothing I sell, each order, I do it as though it's a sale. I do it where you do purchase protection. I have my customers pay me. So basically it goes through as a sale. And PayPal takes money for each sale. They take fees out and everything. I said, and you can see I don't have any complaints or any problems with my customers or anything like that. So I said, so why all of a sudden can I not get paid for this sale? Like, why are you holding my money? For what reason? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, she said that it just happens. I forgot what kind of term she used to describe it, but she said it's no form or fashion or something she said, or like there's no reason for it. It just, like, I guess basically the computer decides which account all of a sudden, or which transaction, it will just stop you from getting your payment right away. And I think more so is the amount of the money that it was. That's what I personally think, because anytime I go on my PayPal account for small transactions and I have the PayPal mobile app on my phone, I usually could just go right onto my PayPal account. If I don't log out of it, I don't even have to sign back in. I just click it and I'm right on my account. All of a sudden, when that money went in there, it logged me out of PayPal. I all of a sudden had to put my password in and all of this stuff to get, and it made me put my password in twice. Plus, it has my Face ID, and it still made me put my password in. So I feel like PayPal did that because of the amount of the money it was. And they just held my money, and they talking about, oh, it's nothing we can do. That's the procedure, the policy, this and that. And it may not happen the next time. It just randomly happens and this and that. And so even my customer called them because she was upset that I didn't get paid. She said because they paid the money right away, her and her husband. And why can PayPal just hold your money? And she was so upset about it. She was just as upset about it as I was. She was just the, like, best customer to do a transaction with. And that's the other part I wanted to really get to, was that this lady was just amazing. You know, I just so appreciate all that she did to make sure that PayPal paid me. And she was like, she wasn't going to even open the doll until I got paid. She said, because she didn't feel right that she gets the doll and I didn't get paid my money. So she was calling PayPal. Her husband called PayPal. You know, they did everything in their power as the customer to help and make sure that I got paid. Okay, so PayPal told her when she gets the doll, or even before she gets it, whenever it asks her on her account if she received the item, she could put yes. But they told her, if you put yes and you haven't received the item and anything goes wrong, you won't be able to complain later, because you've already said you got the item and that you're pretty much waiving your rights, your customer protection or your buyer protection, because you're saying like you already received the doll, even if you haven't actually received it. So the customer told them she didn't care. She'll just say she received it just so I could get my payment. I mean, she was just so nice. And she was telling PayPal that she trusts me and that I already shipped the doll. I already sent her the tracking. The tracking is already on the transaction on PayPal. So you guys know that she shipped the doll and you need to pay her money. You know, you've already taken the money from us, so why are you sitting there holding the money? But my thing is, I so appreciate her doing all of that. But what it made me realize is that as the seller, you really don't have much protection. And that is the next thing I wanted to get to. Imagine if I had a customer that wasn't so honest and maybe not so helpful, would not call PayPal like that, or say not even to call PayPal, but say, you know how you sell something to someone and maybe they don't go back on PayPal to check off that little box saying they received the item. Maybe they don't feel like doing that. Some customers won't do that. Just like when you sell on eBay and you ask for the feedback, some customers, don't even give you feedback. They won't do it. They don't want to take the time to do it. So imagine if you sell an expensive high-end silicone doll, as I had, and you can't get paid until that customer acknowledges receipt of the package. PayPal is sitting there holding your money. Imagine if you have a customer that could be a scammer, because you know the scamming thing could go both ways. But PayPal doesn't seem to recognize that part of it. They're only looking at the scamming from the seller being the scammer. But you know, there are buyers. Unfortunately, sadly, I've heard of buyers scamming sellers where they'll say they didn't get the doll or the box. They'll say they didn't get it. So what if, God forbid, I had a customer like that? PayPal is holding my money and the customer decides they're going to say they didn't receive the package. Or they could say, oh, nothing was in the package, whatever. What would I do? Because then PayPal would just refund them their money, because they would take the customer word over the seller word. It seems that way. And then say PayPal just gives them the payment. You can't get your money back as you can't get paid rather as the seller, and you don't have your doll. The customer ends up with the doll and the money back. And you as the seller could be out of both things. You didn't get paid and your doll is gone. So you could end up with, as a seller, you could end up on the losing end with a tremendous loss. A financial loss. And that really was an eye-opener for me. And it really made me not want to sell any more high-end dolls, I'm telling you. Because I don't like how they have that. Because I'm telling you, what if it was not a trustworthy customer, and she could have, you know, the ball was in her court. If she was not trustworthy, she could have easily said she didn't get the doll. So then I would have to try to prove somehow that she received this doll. I don't even know how would I have went about it. But basically, she could have said that. PayPal would have gave her back her money. My doll would have been gone. And the customer could have gotten the doll and gotten their money back. So that is just something I wanted to just pass along to you guys, just in case you're not aware of it. Maybe that never happened to you. Maybe you haven't sold any dolls yet and you're thinking of selling a doll. Or maybe you haven't sold any high-end dolls, but it's really something to think about. And it's kind of scary, because I've heard sellers say, you know, where the buyer will say they didn't get the doll. I've heard sellers say that. So that is a scary, scary thing. If PayPal believes that's the customer rather over the seller, and the customer says they didn't get the doll or whatever it is that's pricey. Most of us are selling pricey dolls, but like when you're selling the silicone dolls especially. But even some of the reborn dolls are pricey. And you could just be out of your money and out of the doll as the seller. You don't have a leg to stand on the way they're doing the, you know, the way they have the system set up. So it just really made me think that, you know, in the future, do I want to even sell any more high-end dolls? Because it was kind of an ordeal and it made me really, really think. But I'm so thankful that the customer was so kind and thoughtful, and she went out of her way, her and her husband, to make sure that PayPal paid me. They didn't just leave me hanging. They saw it through all the way till they got the doll and I got my money. And this headband is too big. I'm going to have to pin it. It's like more for a toddler. Like, it's really a big headband. The band part. The bow is a nice size. She looks like a little Christmas gift. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that situation. But it definitely has made me think, like, going forward about selling dolls. And you guys know, like I said, I sell a lot of dolls. But now I don't have many silicone dolls left. anyway to sell. I have 3, like I said, and 1 coming. And I want to hold on to them, but you never know. Like I always say, I might want to sell 1, or, you know, I could change my mind. But I bet you I would think twice about selling now because that was just like so nerve-wracking. But like I said, I'm so happy I had an honest customer, a caring customer. And she became like a friend during that whole ordeal. I gained a friend, and I wasn't expecting that, but I really got to know her during all of that. And she's just so nice and everything and thoughtful. And I'm so happy that I sold Jaxson to someone like that, because it could have very well went a different way. I could have sold to somebody that I could have ended up regretting, or they could have not been trustworthy, and the whole situation with the PayPal and them holding my money, it could have went a whole different way. So I'm just so happy it worked out, and she was just like, the customer was so nice. So I'm giving her this passy. This is my little Christmas moose wubbing up. So I finally did take him out. So she's going to get this pacifier. But yeah, I wanted to just share how all of that went. I mean, it was a transaction I won't ever forget. It was one of those I would never forget. I was so sad to sell my Jaxson, but then the whole thing like went into so many other areas during the transaction. I made